So yeah, while I was working on this Raspberry Pi with a 7-inch screen, realizing that I need a different display adapter, I was just watching some YouTube and Nintendo uploaded a video which announced the 3.0 update for Animal Crossing. And the way how I would like to describe it is like, imagine waking up from a 5-year nap, checking your mailbox, and then you see a dusty fruit basket with a letter on it with the signature of Nintendo. That's how I would like to describe it. That's what this Animal Crossing 3.0 update feels like. A weird little love letter from an ex who goes at you in 2021 and now wants to get coffee again. But only if you pay $5 for the premium seating. And hey, I see you logged 1500 hours in this game and told yourself that you were done. You were free. And now here comes Nintendo with a shiny Switch 2 logo and mouse controls like that's supposed to mean something. 6 years later, I need you to fully understand the audacity of that number. Nintendo let New Horizons sit in the attic like a forgotten Tamagotchi, quietly blinking red, untouched, collecting dust, and they told us it was done in the previous update, finished, wrapped up and shelved, and for years the islands stayed frozen in time and villagers repeating the same lines like NPCs in Purgatory. And then suddenly, 2 days ago, 2025, Nintendo crashes back onto the scene, smiling, bright trailer lights, upbeat music, pretending it hasn't been 6 years of silence. My bad, 4 years. And just like that, they dig up the save file, polish it off and go. Here's a hotel, a few new features and a microphone. And it's this surreal mix of deja vu and revival, like finding an old diary you swore you would outgrown and realize that someone's been writing in it behind your back. And at that point, it's not even a revival, but like a resurrection spell that costs stamina and possibly your dignity as well. Okay, I have to give credit where it's due. I mean, the Captain's got a family now, character development, speedrun, very great. He runs a little resort hotel at the pier, in the bottom right corner. Very tropical island Airbnb energy. You can decorate guest rooms, big furniture, maybe toss a jacuzzi to a frog villager. It's cozy, I will give him that. The souvenir shop rotation, very decent. The mannequins, cute if you're still flexing seasonal drip like it's a museum exhibit. The storage expansion though, that's the real win. 9,000 items instead of 5,000. With trees and shrubs included. Finally, hoarders can live in peace instead of turning their beaches into landfill zones. It took them 4 years, but I mean, it's progress. Also, the Rossetti the Mole is back, kind of. He's now running a reset service now. Basically a landscaping undo button, no more angry monologues, no existential mole meltdowns, just a polite eraser for you, which ironically feels about right. But here's where the warm fuzzies stop, and I gotta stop giving too much credit so it doesn't boost their ego. And also the part where the cheap tricks will begin, because somehow Nintendo looked at this 4-year resurrection and said like, let's charge $5 for that. 5 clams, and for what? A 4K upscale at not even 60 frames per second, but like 30 frames, and a new control scheme that basically turns your Joy-Con into a glorified laser pointer. That's not really an upgrade. That's kind of a participation trophy for buying the new console for $500. And honestly, we even asked for 4K in Animal Crossing. This isn't Cyberpunk 2077 or Metroid, hell, even Tears of the Kingdom. It's pastel frogs and wicker furniture. I don't need to count pixels on a seashell. I just want rather have the stable 60 frames per second. Give me smooth camera pans when I'm chasing butterflies, not cinematic lag when it rains. The game's charm was never you know, realism. It was like rhythm, giving you that warm, cozy feeling, a kind of like an escape from the outside world. And somehow Nintendo looked at that and said that it needs Ultra HD grass. And look, I get it, mouse controls are neat, it's smoother, sure, but paying extra to move furniture faster, like paying rent in a game about escaping capitalism? Nintendo out here is kind of monetizing convenience like it's a DLC emotion pack. It's just cheap, man. It's not really evil genius cheap, not corporate overlord cheap. It's just kind of petty, man. Like we found a nickel on the floor and we're keeping it type thing cheap. You spend 500 bucks on the Switch 2 and Nintendo still wants a tip for letting you see your villagers in a higher resolution. And what's worse is that this isn't even new content. It's the free update, the one for everyone else. That's where the actual fun is. The Captain's Hotel, the storage upgrade, Slumber Island, the retro furniture, all of it is free. Well, kind of free. But the premium version, it's just the same game with the shinier leaves and mouse cursor, and also the possibility to see each other playing online. It reminds me of how they handled New Leaf. That update felt organic. The 3DS was still really alive. I mean, people were still playing. The welcome amiibo patch really gave it a second life. But this feels like reviving a fossil for the sake of selling tickets to the museum. And me myself, I still play New Leaf sometimes on my 2DS. It's crazy how much more soul it has. Besides the fact that the online services has been shut down. I mean, that game had everything from the jump, the mini games, the city plaza, deep villager dialogue. I mean, New Horizons launched with the emotional depth of a cardboard cutout and told us like more later. It's really a great game. But when I see this 3.0 update, it's cool, but it's kind of also, it's kind of sad because this should have been the base game. We're cheering for things that should have existed 6 years ago. The bulk crafting, storage for trees, the hotel decor, which is also kind of like the Happy Home Paradise DLC. That's not really an innovation, but kind of like catching up with all the other mechanics that were in the previous games. It's like Nintendo apologizing with a fruit basket after ghosting us for years. And let's not ignore the mole in the room, the retro consoles. They really got me with this one because you can now buy Nintendo consoles and toys in game, like the NES, SNES, Game Boy, and the Ultra Hand, and actually play them, which is really nice. They also had that in the first Animal Crossing game. But as you want to play them, you really get sucker punched with the pop-up that hits and says connect to Nintendo Switch Online to play. They literally put Nintendo Online inside Animal Crossing. It's kind of like a paywall inside a paywall, like a Matroish. You know those dolls, Russian dolls, like when you open it, there's a smaller one. That's how I would describe this whole thing. Back on the GameCube, those were actually free. You would find an NES, unlock it, you could put it up in-game, and you can have instant retro joy with no subscription, no internet, just vibes. But right now, it kind of looks like nostalgia as a service. From a bigger picture though, this says a lot about where Nintendo's headed. Every time we kind of see a Switch 2 edition of a game, that's basically signing to us that there's no sequel. But if you take a step back, this whole thing kind of tells you where Nintendo's at right now. The point I'm trying to make is that for years they went completely quiet on New Horizons, and also explicitly saying that there were no updates coming anymore. Nothing, which made everyone think and speculate that they're cooking up the next Animal Crossing. That would have made sense, right? New Leaf came out in late 2012, it was announced back in 2011, and then we waited 8 years for New Horizons. So timeline wise, we were due for a sequel announcement by now. But instead, out of nowhere, we get this update plus an upgrade pack that doesn't really scream new game soon, but really screams let's milk this one a little longer. And putting a new Animal Crossing on the Switch 2 will really compete with its successor. So they're not really ready to move on yet. They just found a way to stretch the life of their best-selling cozy simulation another few years. I mean, honestly, if I had to guess, a real Animal Crossing probably by 2028, 2029, maybe the tail end of the Switch 2 era. This is just a huge hot take. I mean, it's just my anticipation. And honestly, it's smart business. Animal Crossing sold almost 50 million copies. The free update keeps the casual crowd on the Switch 1 happy. The $5 upgrade milks in early Switch 2 adopters. So you have two audiences, one update, and maximum efficiency. But man, it's so clinical. There's no real magic in it. It's like Nintendo is running the world's coziest hedge fund. And I hate that it works because despite delayed timing, despite the micro greed, despite everything, this update will bring people back. I mean, you will see your island again. You will log in and see all those cockroaches running around, hearing the music, and suddenly it's 2020 all over again. That's serotonin in your brains hit, and all this cynicism fades for a second. And I would kind of say that's kind of a blessing and a curse of Animal Crossing. It kind of weaponizes comfort. It's capitalism very, very amazingly wrapped in coziness. So is it worth it? Well, I would say if you've never played New Horizons or you've just bought it, absolutely, you're getting a full-on buffet now, the whole thing. But for veterans, it's more like leftovers reheated with love, but still leftovers, you know? And if you just dropped 500 on a Switch 2, the $5 upgrade feels more like a punchline than a perk. And honestly, it doesn't even surprise me anymore. This is just Nintendo being Nintendo. At this point, it's a full-on love-hate relationship. They frustrate the hell out of people, but a lot of people still care way too much too. And I've been playing New Leaf again recently, and it reminded me why I cared in the first place. It's not about the 4K lighting or mouse controls. It's the concept, that quiet little world where time actually matters and nothing's trying to sell you something. That's what Animal Crossing is supposed to be, and somehow Nintendo kind of forgets that little by little. So yeah, I will check out the free update in January, but at $5 Switch 2 upgrade, nah, I saw that one coming a mile away. Gold tools still break, villagers still act lobotomized, and we're all still decorating the same room for the 6th year in a row. Maybe we will finally escape that in 2029, or more realistically, New Horizons 5.0. That was it for me. I see you next one. Bye bye.